Hi everyone, my name is Inga. I work here at CFA, and I would just like to pass on something to you that has been rolling around in my head for about the last month or so. I'd like to read you a couple passages. The first one is in Luke chapter 10, starting at verse 38, so you get the whole picture. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." I really like the way that the King James puts it of what Jesus said. He said, "One thing is needful." And that's the phrase that's been going around in my head. Always a reminder, one thing is needful. And that thing is to nurture our relationship with Jesus. And when we have that relationship, and when we know that he is part of our lives, I think we can look at things not as the world sees it, and we don't have to be distracted by COVID, by all the other things that are part of our daily lives right now. Serving in the Greek, it has the meaning of caring for the needs of others as the Lord guides. But Martha was distracted. She was drawn away and pulled away by things that, when you look at your relationship to Jesus, they are peripheral. And so I think the next passage I want to read to you shows what happens when we get our focus right. And that is in John chapter 12, verses 1 to 3. 6 days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany where Lazarus lived, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. Here a dinner was given in Jesus' honor. Martha served, while Lazarus was among those reclining at the table with him. Then Mary took about a pint of pure nard, an expensive perfume, and she poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. The way I look at this is that Jesus, when we encounter Jesus and when he's a part of our lives and when our focus is right, our love for him is leveled up. And with everything that's going on in our world today, I think our love needs to be leveled up. And I'm saying this to me just as much as I'm suggesting it to you, that when our faith is leveled up, then we can see things in the right perspective. And we have an opportunity right now that we can either focus on all the distractions that are going on in our world and in our lives, and we can be driven by fear, or we can take these opportunities to build our faith and to grow, because we're not going to know how much God can do for us and how much he comes through until we experience something that he is going to prove himself. And then we'll know because our faith has been tested and it's come through, that he's there and he's got things under control. And when we're with Jesus, then we can allow God to change our perspective and to work in those distractions. And even though things, don't look at the stock market right now, don't look at the things that are happening with the eyes of fear, but with the eyes of faith. I would like to read you a little passage from this book, The Me I Want to Be by John Ortberg. And this is a passage I really like. It just is hope, but it is also, I guess, it encourages us to keep pressing in. When circumstances look bleak, when the stock market is down, when your morale is sinking, your assets are shrinking, and your health is collapsing, you may wonder, is anything going up? Yes. The chance to trust God when trusting isn't easy is wide open. The prospect for modeling hope for a hope-needy world is trending upward. And the possibility of cultivating a storm-proof faith is always going up. And this is because certain truths remain unchanged. God remains sovereign, grace beats sin, prayers get heard, the Bible endures, heaven's mercies spring up new every morning, the cross still testifies to the power of sacrificial love, the tomb is still empty, and the kingdom that Jesus announced is still expanding without needing to be bailed out by human efforts. God is still in the business of redemption, specializing in bringing something very, very good out of something very, very bad. I hope this encourages you to just keep pressing in and remember that one thing is needful. When our relationship with Jesus is right, He's in control and we can trust Him.